We're back for the week. Um, a Joliet man was sentenced to over 1 year in prison for injuring a state trooper that that resulted in a rear-end crash. A Joliet man is headed to prison after pleading guilty to crashing into and severely injuring an Illinois state trooper. 23-year-old Angel Casillas has been sentenced to 15 months in prison for the car accident that critically injured the Illinois trooper Brian Frank. Will County prosecutors announced on Tuesday. On February 15, 2021, Casillas violated Scott's law, the Illinois mandatory move over law, which requires all motorists to change lanes and slow down when approaching an emergency vehicle. Now, Casillas admitted to rear-ending his black 2010 Cadillac into Frank Stop Squad on I-55 about a half mile north of Route 30. Frank was one of the several troopers on the highway responding to a single vehicle crash in the left lane. Now, while crews were clearing up the crime scene, Frank sat in his patrol car with the emergency lights activated as well as emergency flares lit behind the car. Dash cam footage showed Frank's car stopped over for over 20 minutes, and more than 480 cars safely navigated around it. A few minutes later, prosecutors said Casillas, driving over 80 miles an hour in the left lane, slammed into the back of Frank's squad car. Now, Frank was lifted to Good Samaritan Hospital in serious condition, and he remains debilitated from the accident. A prison sentence will not heal the egregious injuries that have left Trooper Frank totally disabled, and he's confined to a 24-hour-a-day nursing care without the ability to even speak or feed himself. But, however, it does serve a deterrent effect, and it sends the necessary message that the lives of our dedicated law enforcement community are deserving of protection, Will County State's Attorney James Glasgow said in a press release. 14 Chicago public school workers have been fired or resigned after being accused of PPP fraud. At least 14 employees for Chicago public schools have been accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars in federal funding. According to a report from the CPS Inspector General, the workers filed false statements through the Paycheck Protection Program, and they lied about supposed small businesses to get pandemic relief loans. In each case, they fraudulently received up to $21,000 in the funding. The Inspector General said most employees earned six-figure salaries and they held positions of authority throughout the Chicago public schools. As CBS 2's Sabrina Franza reported, the office spent months investigating these claims. 12 of the people have either been resigned or they've been fired, and 2 others are in the process of being fired. Investigators built their case by analyzing data to find the CPS employees with similar names and addresses as the PPP loan recipients. The IG report found that in each of these 14 cases, the employees claimed to be self-employed, which they weren't. And for example, in one case, an employee earning more than $140,000 claimed on the PPP application that they had earned $100,000 in 2019 as a chef, which is not true. That employee has admitted that information was false, according to the report. We have people who are in positions of trust and authority who supervise other people, and they deal with vendors and contractors, and the federal government isn't going to come and prosecute these cases, said Will Fletcher, the CPS Inspector General. In another case, a worker in the CPS central office who earned $200,000 falsely claimed that they had made $75,000 as a sole business owner in 2020. She received $15,000 in forgivable money. The IG said that this employee never filed the required paperwork with CPS disclosing outside income. Crystal Cooper was the former chief operation officer at CPS. Records show her salary was $220,000, and she received just over $15,000 in COVID relief money. And what was surprising was just how many people who earned six-figure salaries and were willing to commit PPP fraud and jeopardize their career, Fletcher said. Another worker falsely claimed that they earned $100,000 as a barber in 2019 to obtain a PPP loan. The other cases cited in the report followed a similar pattern, and we felt that it was important for people to know that someone is holding these people accountable. Now, 8 of the employees resigned, while 4 others were terminated. All of them are now not able to be rehired. So basically, if you get fired, most jobs will hire you back depending on the cause for your firing. But the type of shit here, they're not rehirable. So basically, they're permanently fired from the job and they cannot be rehired. Chicago Public Schools made this statement. Chicago Public Schools greatly values our partnership with the Office of the Inspector General, OIG. As a district, we take seriously our responsibility to serve students and families with integrity, and we will hold accountable individuals who breach the CPS policies and the public trust. CPS will continue to ensure our district policies and procedures support the highest ethical standards to ensure our employees act in the best interest of our students in the district. The Office of the Inspector General told CBS 2 that they will refer these cases to law enforcement. A few cases have already been sent to the law enforcement. The office doesn't suspect that the people listed in the reports will be held criminally accountable, at least not for sure. An armored truck was robbed at gunpoint outside a Homewood BMO bank. An armored truck was robbed at gunpoint outside a BMO bank in Homewood last week. Federal investigators said the FBI confirmed the robbery in the 17,600 block of South Halsted around 1 p.m. But there was no physical injuries reported. ABC 7 spoke with the woman who was driving the armored truck. She said she was not shot, but she was held at gunpoint by at least one person. The driver was not able to tell how many people were involved in the armed robbery or how much money was taken. Neither the FBI nor Homewood Police have released any further details, and no one is currently in custody. And no further information has been available yet. Was immediately available yet, because nobody knows for sure. Last week, the old Crown Point, Indiana jail is in the running to be named one of the most haunted buildings in America. One of the most haunted places in Indiana could be named the best haunted destination in America with your votes. And this is the jail that John Dillinger, this little tiny building here. If you know who famous bank robber John Dillinger was, this is the jail that sits in Crown Point. And I've walked right past it, but never been inside. But anyway, it's one of the most haunted places in Indiana, and it could be named the best haunted destination in America with your votes. Crown Point, Indiana is home to a jail that has a very famous history. Now, built in 1882, the old Lake County Jail contained 6 cells for men and 4 cells for women, and corridors built from solid steel. In 1908, a larger jail was rebuilt. This new structure contains 150 jail cells, several maximum security cells, and more features. At the time, the jail was considered to be escape-proof, and that was until 1934 when John Dillinger was transferred there. After only a couple months of incarceration, Dillinger escaped, according to Ghost Hunter USA. Now, legend has it that Dillinger had carved the gun from a piece of wood, from a wooden washboard. Others say he acquired a real gun, but the story differs and varies. And it forced a trustee and others to lock up 14 jailers, including the warden and a fingerprint expert. With the fellow prisoner and 2 hostages, John Dillinger made his escape over the state line into Illinois in the sheriff's car that was being serviced in the garage north of the jail, and the hostages were later on released unharmed. Now, this was directed in the film Public Enemies, where Johnny Depp played John Dillinger. Parts of the 2008 movie were actually filmed at the old Lake County Jail. Not only does the old Lake County Jail have a historical past, but it's also famous for being one of the most haunted places in Indiana. Notable paranormal activity in the jail includes apparitions, unexplained noises, voices, and footsteps, and lights turning on and off by themselves. The old Lake County Jail offers guided ghost tours throughout the year, and you can book them before the Halloween tour starts. Now the jail is in the running to be named the best haunted destination in America by USA Today. As of the writing of this article, the old Lake County Jail is currently ranked 5th in the poll. And you can help this historic Indiana jail take the top spot in this category by casting your vote now. But the deadline ends on September 18th. Now the other places would be Crown Point Sheriff's House and Jail. That's the one we just talked about. The other one would be Stark Saloon. Then you got General Asa Hell Stone Mansion. One is Willard Library. I've heard about that one. Bell Mansion. Then you got Whisperers Estate. Mysterious Monroe House Haunting. the Randolph County Asylum, the old Blackford County Jail, Fowler Haunted Theater, um, Asher Walton House, the Hannah House, the Davies House, the Stunning Mansion, yeah, Shank Mansion's another one. Yep, but there's like a lot of them. So you got until the 18th, which is next week, to try to get all that voting in. Um, that concludes our news stories for the week. But if you like the video, you can get the video, like, and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube, and for just a little as a few bucks a video or a month, your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.